What's going on, campers? Campfacer here. Today, I have some news for you Friday the 13th, the game fans. This news is nothing coming to the game. I just want to clarify this. There's no new content, but I'm going to share what Wes Culture, the developer from Friday the 13th, the game today, released information about content that they were going to release, but because of the lawsuit happening, they were never able to release this content. But today, Wes Culture shared the ideas of what they were going to put in the game, the recent updates that they were going to work on and put in the game. He didn't talk about the Uber Jason or the Grendel map, but there was a couple other things that were coming that never made it. So here we go. Let's dive into this. I'm going to read it to you, then we will discuss. Wes Culture says, enough time has passed. F-13 content we were forced to stop making at Fear the Gun. Slumber Party. We did have plans for a Slumber Party clothing pack for F-13. It was all the counselors in sleepwear attire. I actually set up a real-life 1-800 number that worked like an automated phone sex line. You could call it IRL in real life. It had a pre-recorded message of the counselors saying silly, sexy stuff like those dumb commercials from the 80s and 90s. It would have been fun. These assets were in the code, but the judge ruled that it wasn't marketably viable, meaning it needed to pass console certification, and it wasn't ready for that. So it might have looked done, but not in the eyes of the court. That would have been interesting, you guys. That would have been kind of funny. I could see right now my wife getting a bill from the phone company at the end of the month saying, honey, what are all these 1-800 numbers on our phone bill? And I would have been like, yeah. That would have been cool. I wonder how many people actually would have used it, or kids and called, or I remember I grew up in those times when there was those 1-800 numbers from like those late night commercials. It would be on TV. Once in a while I'd call up the 1-800 numbers to see if it was a pre-recorded thing or if there was an actual girl talking. He also says prom. We also planned a prom pack, which would also include some props in-game. We wanted to turn Crystal Lake into prom night. Tuxes, dresses, dance floor, that type of thing. We were modeling the dance floor like the one from the ship in Part 8. Even talked about turning the bird bath into a punch bowl, but allowing Jason to still use it as a kill spot. That would have been cool if placed in the right area. Where would the dance floor be in Crystal Lake? I mean, maybe a dance hall. Like they would have built like a big cabin, like a long cabin that there's like vending machines in there, some tables, but then the dance floor in the middle. Maybe a jukebox that you could turn different songs on, or like the radio. That would have been kind of cool. And then you go outside. Maybe there was like LED lights kind of hanging from some trees around the punch bowl bird bath thing. That would have been interesting. Wes also explains paranoia. Yes, it was a new game mode, kinda similar to Among Us. Everyone spawns as counselors, no Jason, you have to find the Part 5 mask. Then you can become Jason. We discussed forcing the player to have to hide to change back and forth. Perhaps the closet thing. The player could be killed in a counselor mode. If killed, they drop the mask on the ground for the next counselor to pick up and become Part 5. We were building new escapes for this game mode that required 2+ counselors to escape, like holding open a gate, etc. It had moments of fun, but needed more work. Now that sounds really interesting too. It's very similar to Among Us. I want to say that they came up with the idea for paranoia before Among Us. I don't really know, but I assume, because I remember paranoia idea came out before I even heard about Among Us. I don't know if Among Us kind of like ruined their, like, even if the lawsuit wasn't happening, would they release paranoia because now it would be kind of like too similar to Among Us? But yeah, paranoia, that would have been fun for a different mode. But to be honest, my friend Josh and I were talking about this today after I heard this news. They would have had to turn off like the counselor locations on the map for even like when you open up the main big map as a counselor. If they had this in the game, you would have had to change like the gameplay style a little bit, because once you find who has a mask and you're following them around or like running from them, you could tell everybody through walkie-talkies. Maybe get rid of the walkie-talkies. Maybe get rid of map location, like being able to open the map and seeing where other counselors are. Maybe it would have been more like diving into it completely blind would make it easier and more fun to not give it away. I could see that mode working and not working at the same time. It would be a hit or miss type of gameplay, you know? It would be cool if, like, the counselor put the mask on but didn't turn into Roy, but just had the Roy mask on and maybe, like, had insta-kill, like a slash, like one hit slash and killed him, because that way it didn't give the other player enough time to tell the other counselors, hey, I know who the killer is, you know? So it would have had to, the gameplay would have had to been changed a little bit to make it work, in my opinion, I guess. Closing thoughts, he says. I felt enough time has passed to share these things with you. I know they are bittersweet. Some will think they are cool ideas, some will be angry. I understand the anger, I feel it too. But I wanted you all to know that we love the franchise and this game. We had big ideas for it. Ideas that we thought you all would think were fun, engaging, and rewarding. We wish it would have worked out differently. Love and Machetes, Wes. Man, these ideas would have been fun, really cool. Just for some of the content. The content I was really looking forward to is more maps, more Jason kills, more clothing packs. Obviously, he mentioned they were going to be coming in the Slumber Party. Yeah, just different, like consistent updates would have been great to keep the game 100% alive for everybody. Wes also shared a poster he made for Paranoia. We even made a Giallo-style poster for the game mode. Every time I stumble upon it on my hard drive, I feel proud of the graphic design and sad at the same time. That is awesome. Look at that. That has like such a like distressed but like vintage look to it. I would buy that as a poster. If they were to print these and they sold them for a few bucks, I would buy one and hang it up. That is awesome. So that's it for today. I want to say thank you for watching. Make sure to give this video a like. If you have not subscribed, please consider. I appreciate it as always. You guys are awesome. I'm glad you keep coming and supporting my content. That being said, campers, as always, stay out of the woods.